Entrepreneurship has a lot in common with chess. You start with an approach, but things change quickly. Maybe you lose a key employee, or a supplier bails before a key deadline. The key is to know how to turn a mishap into an opportunity, or what you might call a pivot. Today, we're going to chat with an entrepreneur who truly understands both the science and the art of the pivot. Businesses that do best are the ones that adapt, look at what's going on around them, and adjust accordingly. We'll look at a small business that has adapted their vision and pivoted their plan in order to suit customer needs. Let's pull our game plan together. This is American Express Business Class. Mariam Nafisi's first venture was an online cosmetics marketplace, which she sold for $100 million. Today, she's the founder and CEO of Minted.com, an e-commerce platform for independent designers and artists.
You launch the site, you're ready to go, and then what happens?
Crickets. Nothing sold for probably a good 6 weeks. We maybe had one order. But then I started to see some signs of life in what we had crowdsourced from this community of independent artists who were submitting designs into competitions. People were voting to tell us what to sell. Those cards started selling slowly.
Was that always part of the plan, to have this crowdsourcing element?
It was part of the plan, but I was feeling a bit risk averse, so I didn't make the entire company that from the beginning when I should have. So we had to pivot completely towards what we call crowdsourced product, which is designs being submitted to design competitions from people all over the world, voting to tell us what to sell, and us printing those products when you order from us. Our first pivot was our most important one.
Now, you had expected this stuff to just be flying off the shelves. It's not.
Right.
You know, what advice do you have for somebody who's sort of going through that?
I do think Michael Porter's 5 Forces is a great framework to look at what are the forces in the industry, suppliers, consumers, how concentrated are they? What is your competitive situation like? That framework is very helpful, but is there some potential that there's some blocker that is impeding our ability to see what the true industry should be like? There are things that I think are helpful, but then the question is, as an entrepreneur, is to try to understand what might not be seen even through that framework.
In London, Pentatonic, a sustainable design and technology company, realized that by pivoting and adding a consulting arm to its operations, it would increase their revenue.
Pentatonic came about when myself and Johan were both working in former lives.
I understood what is going on in the recycling industry and where it needed to move to really be circular economy.
The plan was always to be a consumer brand and to make consumer goods, starting with furniture.
When we launched those products, they performed okay, not the wildest dreams, what you hope for.
Johan and Jamie had left their jobs and put everything on the line to make their dream product design company a reality. But manufacturing alone wasn't generating enough revenue. So they took stock of their business and realized they might have something else to offer.
What did happen is that a lot of other brands said, oh, it's very nice. And we're like, oh, so you want to buy our furniture? And they're like, yeah, maybe, but also can you help us work on our product? Because we like the way how you did this.
We found that we had a lot of demand from huge organizations who wanted to move to the model that we just launched with.
When Jamie and Johan reevaluated the playing field, they realized their expertise was actually another marketable strength.
We got opportunities that made us change the strategy towards a multi-revenue stream business. What really drove brands to us, I think, is precisely that. We were doing the thing that other consultancies are talking about, writing books about, but they also needed help to just do it.
Now, in addition to the production side of their business, Pentatonic has built a thriving consulting practice.
When you are working with products that haven't been designed to be recycled at the end of the life, but you are asked to come in and deal with those products, and we do the recycling. They are always the more challenging ones, but we will take on that work because of the impact it can create.
As you go through business life, you find yourself thinking about, the strengths and weaknesses, opportunities and threats. Formally, we've done so once a year, and informally, as far as day-to-day considerations go, we think about these elements a lot. It's not a very competitive environment. What you're competing against is yourself. You're competing against technological challenges.
If you can help brands that are every day interacting with millions of consumers and help them change their ways, you have the opportunity to create huge amounts of impact. We're in a place in the existence of the human species where change has to be the solution. So it could accelerate a circular economy, and that would really impact the planet, impact people, and it would also impact what my daughter is going to inherit.
Being an entrepreneur isn't just about changing the world. It's about understanding how the world is already changing and how you fit into that change. I mean, look at Pentatonic. They took a 360-degree view of their operations, and that's how they realized that these other brands, they didn't actually have to be competitors, they could be clients. And Mariam Nafisi pivoted to a crowdsourced strategy that proved successful. So with that, I'll see you next time.